So, one thing, and my audience knows this, I've been, in the last couple of years, deep into working on traumas in my life. I've done EMDR and I've done breath work and I've done psychedelic journeys. Like I've been really trying to work on my response.
What psychedelics have you used, if you feel comfortable
Yeah,
disclosing?
of course. Yeah, psilocybin, MDMA, and 5-MeO DMT. And they were all done with therapists and in a very controlled environment.
And
So
was one of them more profound for you than another? Or I know they all had their own
yeah,
gifts.
it's really hard to say. They've all been different. I mean, I feel like psilocybin really gave me an idea of create like a bigger vision that I wasn't able to see when I wasn't, and so being able to talk through some of those, and I also saw how interconnected everything was. MDMA, of course, is great at just bringing down the defenses and really pulling me into my heart so I could see things more objectively. And 5-MeO DMT was like seeing my ancestors, like it's from another world. So, but each one, what I did is I came out with a checklist of like, here are some traumas, some wounds, some things that showed up, and I took it to my therapist and was like, let's work on these. And I say all of that to say that I've at 54 years old, I've really hit a point where I understand now what you're saying is that my emotional state is my responsibility. And so if somebody is triggering my emotions, it's a mirror for me to see, oh, isn't that interesting? Why is this? And I like how you're saying it. Why is this energy showing up? Because now I can work on it and I don't need the situation to change. And
Totally.
as I've been doing that for the last couple of years, what has shocked me is some of the most difficult relationships in my life are effortless now.
I got emotional when you said that. I felt this is what I want people to know is
Yeah.
if we shift our relationship with our own emotions,
Yeah.
our lives become expansive and possible, and
Yeah.
we don't have to take a wrecking ball to them.
That's right. Yeah. So how
What
do we do that? How do we do that without, some people listening are like, well, I'm not doing a psychedelic journey. I
uh
don't have the money to go into EMDR therapy. Like, how can we do this with this understanding that that our emotional health is within our own control?
Okay. So I want to go back to this thing about uncertainty and or confusion. Let's go. Either one of
Yeah.
those words is fine. The future is inherently unknowable. Okay. And it's unknowable in big ways and in lots of ways we can totally tolerate, and in a lot of ways that like we find impossible. Like we're just like, this is excruciating.
Right.
So what happens is, and I want to show people the mechanics of this. So what tends to happen, I work with a lot of kind of people who are high performing, like high performing parents. Maybe they're even a stay at home mom, but they're just like giving all like there's just a lot of labor. And I work with like
Yeah.
leaders and I work with entrepreneurs. So people just like doing and doing and doing. So when I start to feel at my core uncertain, what that's going to do is it's going to create a sense of unsafety. Okay. So great. The brain is at its fundamental core, it's about ensuring safety.
Hmm.
So, what do I then do to create safety? Well, I start to say this uncertainty is making me uneasy. It's making me anxious. So, I'm going to create certainty.
Mm.
Great. This seems like a very adaptive, logical strategy.
Yeah.
So, I then start to say I'm going to create certainty by doing a lot to the external environment. Now, in
Mm.
Energy Rising, I write about what I call the overs. And I
Mm.
think you're going to recognize some of them. The
I
overs
feel
are
like
things
you're already talking about me, but go ahead.
I feel so seen and not in a good way.
I do feel quite seen right now, but go for it.
So the overs are things like overthinking,
Mm.
overworking,
Yep.
overgiving, overanalyzing, overfunctioning, overrotating. I mean, should I go overdoing? Should I go on and on? It's like there's a million of them.
Yeah.
So if I, for example, give to someone, that's very life giving. It's very enjoyable. It's very pleasurable. But when I overgive, I am only doing that because the core energy is an impulse of fear.
Mm.
A lot of us love to work. But when we overwork, we're only doing that because we're afraid.
Mm.
Afraid of failing, afraid of being found out, afraid of not okay. So when I don't know how to metabolize uncertainty properly, I want to create certainty. That's fine. But I try to create certainty by engaging in the overs. So if I can work enough and give enough and function enough and think enough and analyze enough, then I will be safe. Are you with me? I think
Yeah,
we're all, yes.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Now listen to this. So my primary area of expertise is anxiety. Okay? I'm
Okay.
an anxiety researcher. The best definition I can give you for anxiety is a disturbed relationship with certainty.
Mm,
The
okay.
best definition for anxiety is a disturbed relationship with certainty. In other words, the more I try to get out of uncertainty by demanding certainty, I start to obsessively chase certainty,
Mm,
the more anxious I become.
mm. Interesting. Okay.
This is at its extreme. So, anxiety is on a continuum. Everyone has mild to moderate anxiety, very normal. But if you start to get into pathological conditions, PTSD, OCD, generalized anxiety, social anxiety, panic, these are all anxiety disorders, but they're on a continuum.
Right.
The very thing that causes these things is actually a disturbed relationship with certainty. I'll show you. So there's a lot of variants of OCD. Let's take that as an example. I'm happy to use any disorder. One of the variants is checking. Okay. So I go and I think, is my stove on? I go check.
Mm,
And when I check externally, I do the checking behavior. I look at the stove. I get a little bit of relief. But then in a little while later, I feel that uncertainty in my body. I go back and I check again. I feel the uncertainty rise. I go back and I check again. Now, this certainty seeking is ruining. I have patients that cannot go to work because they are checking their stoves so much.
mm. So how do you break that?
What you have to do is recognize first, and this is a very counterintuitive thing. If I had one word to describe all of my work, it would be either counterintuitive or opposite. If the brain is a pattern detection machine, apple, 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 and I want change in my life, I've got to be willing to say banana. Well, guess what? The first time I say banana, you think that's going to feel good?
Mm, mm.
It's going to feel
Okay.
like, it's got to be apple.
Okay.
So I've got to first say my real problem here is my inability to sit with uncertainty.
Ah,
Well,
so it's like a
what?
root cause. It's the root
Yes.
cause of anxiety.
But here's the thing. What is the opposite of uncertainty? It sounds semantically like it should be certainty, which is why we're all out there trying to
Trying
produce
to create it.
external forms of
Yeah.
certainty. The opposite of uncertainty is not certainty. The opposite of uncertainty is trust.
I was just gonna say it's faith. Yeah.
That's it.
So what are you trusting? What you're trusting that it's all gonna work out. You're trusting that your highest good is always unfolding. Like it's when you get in the I would call it like the hyper vigilant brain. I could definitely feel my brain go into that place often. And what you're saying is when that shows up, you have to just create a statement. If you're going to create a banana statement, it would be, it's all going to work out. I'm trusting that it's unfolding as it needs to unfold.
Yeah, that feels a little, I think that's beautiful. I would worry that that's a little too theoretical for
A little
people.
woo woo.
Well, no, I think that's the
Yeah,
like
give me
basic
something else to
goal.
say.
But
Yeah.
I would say, okay, so I would say, tell me specifically where you're having stress. So I was a few minutes late to our conversation. And the reason I was a few minutes late to our conversation is I was running a coaching group. And
Mhm.
one of the people in the coaching group said, I struggled this week because I went somewhere and I just kept changing my outfit and changing my outfit and changing my outfit. I kind of got in this loop where I just kept changing my outfit. So I was really stressed and I said, well, okay, well, what was the stress about? And they were like, I don't know. I just felt like I could not go out until I looked right, but everything I did, like it just didn't feel right. So I would say, what is the thing? So you see what's happening is this person is trying to seek certainty. Can you see what's happening in the nervous system?
Right.
That once I get the right outfit, it's gonna feel certain like it's okay.
Right.
So she's outfit, 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 and her anxiety is going up.
Yep.
So I say, okay, well, tell me the thing that you think you cannot tolerate. Well, the thing I think I cannot tolerate is I think I cannot go out in the wrong outfit. If we want to expand our emotional power, and emotional power is our ability to accept our wholeness and to be able to trust ourselves and life itself.
Mm, mm,
I've got to say, what are the ways I don't trust myself? Well, I don't trust myself to pick out an outfit.
mm,
Well, I need to start building the muscle. This is an actual muscle of trusting my ability to pick an outfit. That's it. Not that I feel good in the outfit, because you see, people want to take the mountain in a single leap. If you try to take a mountain in a single leap, you will fail. Don't do that to
right,
yourself. So
right,
my job right now is to say, I'm going to trust that I'm going to pick an outfit, and that's it. I don't care if I feel good in it. I don't care if I feel anxious. I don't care if I feel like people are looking at me. Right now, my work is to show myself that I have the muscle memory to pick an outfit.
right.
The way that we build, because I want to show people that this is an actual musculature.
Yeah, so
one
if
thing
it sounds unfamiliar right now, it means that you gotta practice it.
you
I
got to
just
practice.
yeah, yeah.